Razaban here from FightHype.com, making his FightHype debut today with me. I've got 3-0 light heavyweight prospect, Dana Zaxo. Dana, how are you doing, my man?
I'm alright, man. Nice to meet you, Raz. First boxing, well, official boxing interview, and I'm proper excited, so we'll see where this takes us, innit?
Any nerves? Any nerves?
You get nervous, yeah. There's a lot of pressure, but pressure makes diamonds, innit? So slowly but surely we'll get to where we're going with boxing and with the interviews, innit? So
we've obviously gathered here at Sign Lounge, at the lovely Sign Lounge, to catch up with you. Obviously,
yep.
I know you've got your fight coming up in a couple of weeks' time, which we'll go into in a little moment.
okay.
But you're a very unique individual,
yeah.
A unique character. I watch your social media quite often, and you do have me in laughter at times.
Okay.
But let's just roll the time back a little bit. Why did you become a boxer?
Boxing started for me, or it first got introduced by my boxing, well, football coach. His name was Mark MJ Porter, and very tough man, very tough man, very disciplined, had us doing runs in the morning at the age of like 14, 13, so we had to get fit for a boxing event, a football event. It was an Arsenal tournament, and he said, listen, let's do some boxing training after the football ones. So I went there and I ended up falling in love. Like, I was better hurting people than I was kicking a ball. So I had to sit down, and eventually I just got, slowly but gradually, I got back into it. And yeah, man, that's where it came from. That's when I first got introduced, and then I went to uni, obviously. Then I realised I can become an architect 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, but I can't become a boxer 10, 20 years down the line. So what I want to do personally is chase two dreams in one life. So I want to do the architecture thing, but I want to concentrate on the boxing thing right now. God willing, inshallah, I get a title, get more than one title. That's the aim, and then from there we go into architecture. I'll get my degree. That's what I want to do. So we'll see what happens.
In a time and age where we have loads of problems on the streets, especially here in London, knife crime, gun crime, people being murdered. I think London actually has the highest rate, actually more than New York. Do you feel like, and a lot of fighters say this to me, that boxing has disciplined you and has shown you a certain route?
100%, 110%. A close friend of mine passed away many years ago. He was 15 years old. Probably a lot of you heard about it. It was a Victoria stabbing. His name was Sufyan. Passed away, and I could have gone on the wrong track, and I could have easily tried to avenge that it could have been different for me, but I feel like boxing has kept me disciplined, grounded, and it teaches you a lot about life. When I first got introduced to boxing, I was like, you know what, I'm a good fighter. But once you step in the ring with a boxer, it's completely different. Like, they will teach you a lesson. Boxers will teach a fighter a lesson, and then when you get taught a lesson, you feel like, you know what, I want to learn that. I want to be able to do that one day, but in a positive manner. So right now, when I go back to my old school, I'm only 3-0. I haven't really done much in boxing as of right now, but when I go back to the school, all the teachers love it. The students come running up to you, they want to take pictures, and it's very inspiring and motivational to be a part of a movement that could have gone very negative at a young age. It's very easily to come off tracks and become this hood person and do a lot of negative stuff, carrying knives, guns, murders, stabbings. Like, I'm trying to stay away from that. I don't promote violence. I don't condone that. If you've got a problem with someone, I go to State of Mind Gym. You can call that person. Both of you can put on the gloves and you can spar it out, man. That's the way to be.
By being disciplined and learning the craft, do you feel like you're in a position of responsibility with friends around you, colleagues, associates, where you can kind of influence them and take them away from the streets?
100%, 110%. I've had at least four young people come to me and tell me, Dana, please get me into boxing, or what gym is the best gym to go to at this age, and I'll introduce them to different gyms around different areas, whether it's West London, take them to Del Youth to build up their amateur record. So, but the good thing is, I don't think I play a big role in it. I feel like it's fate, and the good thing is they've got the courage to come and ask. Because a lot of people at their age, they don't want to ask. Or they'll ask you, but behind closed doors. They'll ask you without the group they're in. So it's like, when you get that opportunity to help someone, if you don't take it, then are you really giving back? Do you understand? I'm kind of like, God gives to a giver and takes from a taker. I'm trying to give back. I'm not trying to take. Just give back. The more you give, the more you will receive. That's what I believe. So I'm in for helping young people. I feel like they'll help me as a person as well. There's always room for positive energy, shall I say.
Your record itself, I know you said you've only just started, 3-0. I think one was a TKO, one was a KO, one was went to the points, I believe, one fight?
1 KO, 1 TKO, 1 point.
So prior to that, did you have any amateur experience? Did you go through any England ranking system?
I did not. I would say unfortunately, but I could say fortunately as well that I haven't had no amateur experience. I say unfortunately because I haven't really got the experience that everyone around me has. But I would say fortunately because I feel like I'm a ghost in the boxing industry. Like, no one's heard of me. No one knows who I am. The light heavyweights probably know who I am because their promoter will say, oh, this person's done this, or their trainer will say, oh, this person's good, or I saw this boxer do this. But it's a good thing that no one knows me. It's a good thing that no one said, oh, you know, I beat you in the amateurs. They'll have that psychological win over you type thing. But if I had the same knowledge I had today and I could go back, would I do the amateurs? 100%. I would do it 100%, but I can't go back. I've got to live with what I've got right now. I've got to chase my personal aspirations, and I'm positive in achieving my goals, and I genuinely believe that I can become world champion one day. If I did not, I wouldn't do it. There's no point in wasting your time and your body, sacrificing your health to do something that you're not 100% content with. So I'm positive about the movement I'm in right now, and I believe that amateurs could have helped me, but I just got to spar, do the doghouse work, spar champions, ex-champions, the best people in the business, and see how I get on.
British boxing at the moment is booming in the UK. I think it's number 2 in the UK after Premier League football. Sudden rise of the last 6-7 years through Matchroom, Frank Warren and other promoters that are out there. Do you feel like right now is the time for boxing? Right now is the time for anyone, if they want to participate in the sport, now is the time?
I feel like boxing, how should I say boxing? Boxing was like a phoenix, and it was reborn. Like, they had the eras where it was, they had the Marvin Haglers and they had the Sugar Ray Leonards, and that whole old school era was so amazing. And I feel like the older generation was so spoiled for boxing choice, the Mike Tysons and everyone, like literally, that whole era was boxing. But this era is more like, you know what, we got the footballers, and now, only just now, we've got many big names in so many different weight classes. So we're slowly outweighing the olden era, and everyone wants to be a part of boxing now. Like, kids these days, when they're in school, before you used to ask them, what do you want to be? They say footballer straight away. But now they'll hesitate. They'll fully hesitate, and they'll say, maybe I want to become a boxer, but we'll just wait out how it goes. Time is the answer. I'm signed to Steve Goodwin myself, but great man, great person. He's helped me a lot in my career. But I have to say this, hats off to Eddie Hearn, because I feel like he has helped UK boxing so much. It is unbelievable. And the whole thing he's done with AJ, a lot of other boxers, and I feel like he's got, I don't think he gets the recognition he deserves type thing, but only now globally people are recognizing what he's done. So the Zone and people in the States and America. So it's good for us, because when I fight, I want people in America to watch it. when I fight, I want people in Germany to watch it, etc. So not just the UK. Being a part of this era, I feel like that can happen and that will happen, but we'll see what happens in it.
You mentioned the Sugar Ray Leonard, you mentioned the Hagler. You're a light heavyweight.
Yeah.
So growing up, who were the fighters that you looked at and said, wow, I want to be like that?
Roy Jones Jr. Like Roy Jones Jr. for me was... Roy Jones Jr. is my favourite fighter. Like all-time great. I love him. Who else? Antonio Tarver. I respect Antonio Tarver. I can't discredit him for what he's done. Obviously Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was just... I don't have the how should I say it? I wasn't gifted with seeing him live on TV, but looking back and studying the sport, he was special. And yeah, man, that's my top three. I say that's my top three. I love them to bits and they're my idols. I try to take snippets of everyone's ring craft and technique and put it in my own little show. So when I jump in the ring, I'm throwing shots from different angles. And only recently we've been gifted to seeing Lomachenko. So now you see Lomachenko fight, it's like being a heavier opponent, complete different weight class. Can you implement his footwork and ring craft into your weight? And if you do that, that's a game changer. So slowly we're trying to work on different things, different angles, and yeah, man, every box is different. Everyone brings their own style, and hopefully 10, 20 years down the line, I could be someone's idol. So we'll see what happens, man.
You said before we started this interview that it was a little bit nervous. It's your first one.
Yeah.
February 3rd, I believe, is the next date.
February 2nd.
Second,
Yeah.
my bad. It's February 2nd. Your fourth fight on a big stage. It's the O2 Arena. It's now known as kind of the mecca of boxing for the UK. You know, Dylan White, Jarek Chisora, we just saw that. We saw Dylan White, Parker, Bellew, Haye. We've seen Joshua building his career at the O2 as well. Any nerves? Any signs of, you know what, this is the big show. I've got Eddie Hearn in the audience. I've got other fighters in the audience. I need to impress.
Impress 100%. I feel like if I don't go out there and feel like, you know what, I need to impress, then what am I doing it for? You have to impress everyone. You have to be aesthetic. You have to be pleasing to the eye. But the main thing I think is just enjoying it, man. Do you know when you put that time and effort in camp? We call it camp. I feel like it's the best feeling, knowing that you've done all the training, you've put your body through hell, you've dieted, you've gone for your morning runs, your hill sprints, and you've done everything, bang on right, sparring, everything. And then when you get into that ring, you just want to enjoy it, man. You just want to enjoy it to the point where win, lose, draw, you come out smiling, you come out learning lessons, and you come out putting a smile on people's faces, whether it's a knockout, whether it's a left hook, right hook, jab, rear hand, uppercut. Every shot, even if it's a combination, the flurries, when you hear people gasp or you hear people clapping and standing up and shouting your name is very exciting. I feel like boxers are modern day gladiators fighting in worldwide coliseums. There's no, you know what I'm saying? So it's a special time to be alive, a special time to be a part of boxing. I think I got more used to it because I was supposed to fight on the AJ versus Povetkin undercard as a float, but I was on as a float. Unfortunately, I didn't get to fight, but I kind of soaked that in and I absorbed the atmosphere. So every 20 minutes I'd walk out and I see this, like, the whole arena fill up and everyone shouting and the atmosphere is crazy. So I feel like I soaked that in. I've kept that in my head and my heart for a very long time, and I feel like it's only right to fight on a big show straight after that feeling so I can learn from it. I feel like not being able to fight on a AJ Povetkin undercard was a blessing in disguise as well, because you knew that you was ready, you had the opportunity to progress, but sometimes in life it's not your time. Understand? It wasn't made for you, it wasn't cut. So I like to thank AJ for that. AJ, great man. I feel like he's really looked into my career as an older brother as well, and he's taught me things that not a lot of boxers would like to share, type thing. There's a lot of secrets, a lot of remedies that boxers do to help progress their career, make them better as fighters, and he's told me a lot, and he's yeah, man, he's a good person, great man, yeah.
We'll come to AJ.
Yeah.
You said that you knew you could fight, but when you went into a boxing ring, it's completely different. And on the other hand, you said that you want to become a world champion. Do you feel like you need to steadily rise the ranks, steadily get experience, and eventually make your way to the world title? Because you see nowadays some fighters turn down world title opportunities when they've had 12, 13, 14 fights. I won't mention their names, but they turn down world title because they feel like they don't have the relevant experience. Do you feel like you're the type of character that's ready to mix it when you get to 8, 9, 10 and 0, or you feel like you actually need to grow your career and gain more experience?
I feel like it comes to a stage where, say eventually, God willing, inshallah, I get to 10 and 0, 9 and 0, 15 and 0, and an opportunity like that arises. I feel like you've got to think about it, and you've got to, why are you in a sport for one? Do I want to sit back and say, you know what, I want to fight the best when I'm at my best? Or do I want to take the opportunity that's in front of me right now, not knowing what the future holds? Because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to get another title shot. You don't know if you're going to be ready. So I feel like if that opportunity came to me, I'm 100% in. I wouldn't say I'm rushing, but I'm saying if I was 10, we're talking hypothetical now, if I was 10 and 0 or 15 and 0 and that opportunity came to me, I might not be ready, but I know mentally, internally, spiritually, I'll bring myself to contentment in the gym and say, you know what, I've put in my work, I've put in 12 weeks of hard work, and I'm ready to go to war. But my coach might say otherwise, and my manager might say otherwise. That's why we have people like that in our careers. So even I understand the boxers that are 15 and 0 and they get world title shots, maybe it's not their decision. As much as people hate them and slander them and he's a, I was gonna say something, but you know what I'm saying, he's shook or he's scared to fight this person. I don't think that's the case. I feel like having the right people around you, guiding you, is very important in the sport of boxing. We've seen what people like Don King have done to like Tyson, and we've seen that. So right now is important to have people around you that will guide you and tell you what fight to take at what time. Because one fight will change your entire life. Every single fight will change your life because you don't know what's going to happen. One punch changes the whole game. So don't get too complacent, and that's it, man.
The light heavyweight division in the UK is booming at the moment.
Yep.
Probably led at the top, and I won't say who's one and who's two,
Yep.
but probably you got Anthony Yarde and Joshua Buatsi there. What do you first make of the light heavyweight contenders that they are in the UK?
I think it's great, man. I think competition is a blessing. I think it's beautiful to have people that good domestically. I feel like they will go far in their careers. Eventually, I will meet them. But I've got nothing bad to say. No backbiting. I've got nothing negative to say. I feel like them two should fight each other very soon. I feel like if that fight does happen, it will be a game changer for the light heavyweight industry in the UK. Because a lot of people are shying away from domestic fights and they're going for European titles, or they're going for titles they don't really deserve. And I feel like if you can't conquer or be the best in the UK, then what's the point of you going overseas? Let's conquer the light heavyweight division here. And it's not really not all of your rivals are your enemies. So even if you do lose to a big name, I feel like you can learn a lot. That person can then become your sparring partners, and you can progress. Yeah, man, we got a lot. we've got a lot of light heavyweights in the UK, and I feel like it's only a matter of time I start mixing up with them and you start headlining shows. I know it's very early for me to say this, but I've got a vision and I intend to see my vision in real life.
I was scrolling through your Instagram and I saw pictures of yourself in your boxing gear along with some of the other great fighters of our time at the moment. David Haye, Chris Eubank Jr., I think I saw George Groves. So I know they say sparring is sparring, but how did you cope when you were in the ring? Because I know you did spar.
Yeah, I sparred them. I sparred them. At first I was like, shit, I'm gonna go spar world champion. Well, I'm gonna go spar one of my idols. I grew up watching this person, so when I first went to spar David Haye, was like, okay. I went there with my brother, which is me and my brother Zana, and he was like, listen, just go in there, do your thing, enjoy your time, and that's it, man, learn from it. So he went in there, we sparred, and the main thing for me is just soaking everything up, living that moment. And I live that moment every single day in my head, over and over again. I actually sparred this person at this stage of my career. The main thing is asking questions after the spars. How did I do? What can I do better?
What was the reaction back to those questions? How did you cope? How did you do?
I feel like I've done very good. I feel like I surprised Haye. He asked what weight I was. I said I was a light heavyweight. He didn't believe me. He told me to take off my top. So I took off my top and he goes, okay, well, you hit hard for a light heavyweight. Take that as a compliment. And I was very happy with my performance. Chris Eubank Jr., believe it or not, I sparred Eubank before I turned pro and before I had any amateurs. Like, well, obviously I had no amateurs. Any fights. I didn't have a pro contract, but I was in preparation of getting it. Went down to Brighton. My coach told me, Dana, do you want to do this? I said, yeah, man, let's go for it. He goes, are you sure? I said, yeah. I said, let's go. Barry O'Connell, lovely man. So he went down, we drove down to Brighton and we've done a lot of rounds. Well, we've done some rounds with Eubank. Very tenacious fighter. Kept coming at you, kept coming at you, kept coming at you. And he taught you how to fight. Well, he taught me at that time that not everything is forward, forward, forward. Sometimes it's good to fight on the back foot. So I adapted, we came back, had a sit down after and it was very positive feedback. He told me if I could try do amateurs, but obviously me being me and at the time of the transaction, I felt like going pro was the right thing to do. George Groves, what can I say? George Groves, best jab in boxing? I think best jab in boxing. He's got lovely jab. Special fighter. I think he's talented. Very hard working. So when I first went in the ring with him, the first round was a bit, you know what, let me just get on my feet. And then I don't want to get into too much detail, but we had
some fun.
Yeah, we had some fun. We had a lot of fun. There's a lot of other boxing names that I've sparred, upcoming people, and I feel like Dion Joma, cruiserweight, very, very talented southpaw. I think one of the best southpaws I've been in the ring with. Who else? David Adley, also a cruiserweight, boxes out of Del Youth. He's looking to turn pro soon. Ali, you've got Ali Cordy, also a cruiserweight. He's in my stable. He's a stablemate of mine right now, but I think he's gone to Repton. But all these people, I'm sparring a lot of heavier opponents, just to get, get into the rhythm of things, and I'll start mixing it up slowly but surely. But I feel like you learn the most from sparring, man. You learn the most from sparring. Every single fighter is different. Every person you jump in the ring with, it's like you're trying to break a code. You're trying to unlock a padlock. You're trying to analyze everything. His shoulders, his foot movement, his lead hand, is his right hand low, is his left hand low. You're trying to analyze every single thing about it, and I feel like sparring is Sparring has helped man the most and helped me learn the most, especially in the short time of this. My career is short-lived. Right now is very short. I'm trying to make it long, so I'm trying to get as much sparring as I can from anyone, anywhere. I'd even travel. I'm looking to travel to the States. I want to spar the likes of Triple G, Kovalev, anyone in light heavyweight, super middleweight, cruiserweight. I'll spar anyone.
You talked a little bit about being on anti-Joshua's on the card, and you learned a lot from obviously being a floater, not fighting on the night.
Yeah.
What's your relationship like with AJ?
AJ's good vibes, man. He's positive vibrations. How do I explain it? It's like the first day I met him through, people call them the Sion boys. I like to call them my brothers, Ali Hassoun and Aiden. They introduced me to AJ at Sion one particular day. They told me to come down, and we sat down next to him, and he was eating his food. And I remember he put his plate down just to speak to you, and that's a lot. And I told him, listen, if you want to eat, he goes, nah man, you got a story, because I want to listen to your story. You know the way he talks. So I was talking to him and that, and I feel like there was a lot of relation in the past and paths and where we came from and where we're trying to go, or where he's going and where I'm trying to go. So I feel like he's taught me a lot in a short period of time. He's like a brother to me. Yeah man, I can't say nothing bad about him. He's never done me wrong. He's always tried to help me in my career. I didn't meet him for that long, and he goes to me, listen mate, we'll put you on the undercard. Straight after his fight, I remember James told me, a very good friend of his, James told me, he said we was in the change room and AJ said, did Dana get to fight? And knowing that and hearing that means a lot. Like, you've got people that are world champions, that are icons in the sport of boxing. He's the prince of UK boxing, asking about you. So it's very good and very big. I feel like it motivates me now, knowing that I've got people like AJ to support me. But the main thing is I can't disappoint. Once you get people like that around you, you can't disappoint. You're surrounded by lions, you're surrounded by wolves, I'm surrounded by predators. So if I'm not a good enough predator, then I'm not cut for the deep end. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I'm not cut for that. So I'm trying to, I feel like I'm cut for it, and if I wasn't, I don't think I'd be in a position that I am today. So alhamdulillah, all praise to the Most High, and yeah man, I'm very happy.
Just finally, we're coming to half an hour.
Yeah.
There's a big fight next week.
Yes sir.
In the States, in Las Vegas. I'm not sure if it's at the T-Mobile or the MGM Grand. Adrian Broner versus Manny Pacquiao. So just before I let you go, I just want to get a fight prediction on what you think will happen January the 19th.
Pacquiao's always been a monster, but I feel like Adrian Broner's got a lot to prove, and I feel like he's more hungry. I feel like it's a tough one, man. If it goes points, Broner wins. If it don't, then Pacquiao's knocking him out. That's what I say, that's my prediction. I say Pacquiao will do it in 6. If not, Adrian Broner does it all the way, the distance.
Just before I finally let you go, for everyone who's watching this and all the viewers out there, whether it's in the UK or the States or wherever in the world, where can they find you on social media? Do you want to plug your Twitter, Facebook?
Okay,
no phone numbers, please. Instagram, where can we find you?
Definitely not
where
phone
can we follow
numbers.
the journey?
I mainly interact on Instagram. My Instagram name is @Dana, DANA _ ZAXO, Zaxo _ and that's my Instagram, Dana _ Zaxo _ and that's it man, that's the name. Follow me, only if you want though. Yeah man, follow it. I'd be happy to introduce you to my lifestyle, and I'd be happy to interact with you also. I do interact with my followers. And I do believe that it makes you a better person if you do so. So yeah, man, I look forward to seeing you in the future, man.
And it's been a pleasure talking to you today and catching up. There's so much more we can talk about, but I want to wish you all the best for your fight and preparation for February the 2nd at the O2 Arena. And hopefully we'll catch up with you on Fight Night.
Thank you very much, bro.
Dana Zaxo for FightHype.com. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. God bless.